everything is a feedback loop. My friends, let's talk about the alchemist's tools. Really the essential knowledge when it comes to learning, how to influence one's state and influence reality around us. We're talking about the feedback loop of mind, body, and prana, really the foundational keys, the tools that we use, right, to claim sovereignty in our lives, to learn to be the master or the supreme ruler of ourselves, and let that leak out, let that be reflected into reality. What we're talking about here is really important, and that's the vibrational field, the harmonic vehicle in which we are. Okay. Go watch one of my recent videos, Stop Leaking Energy. In that video, we went really deep. I kind of hit a flow state, talking about how we're leaking energy and kind of the path of the master, the path to life force control, the path to internal mastery. We're going to be diving into a few different concepts brought up in that video, but let's start at the vibrational field. My friends, there's a field around us that we exist within. Okay. This field holds your dominant vibration. It holds your charge, right? That vibration, that in that field, it's your consciousness. Everything you've thought, done, acted, like the self-image you hold, it's all held in there, right? Furthermore, that field is pumping with your life force. Life force is energetic potential. It can be transmuted into physical action, into thoughts, into feelings, right? But oftentimes, our life force is just trickling through us. We're not poised and present. Our body is all blocked up, so the life force is not flowing properly, right? The life force is actually locked into base centers of the body. And those base centers of the body, when the life force is locked down there, it gets manifested as, thoughts of fear, thoughts of worry, thoughts of anxiety, feelings of those, right? And then reactive actions based off those. All of those things are leaking energy. Essentially, my friend, wherever your field is, everything in your perspective, everything you're creating is going to be a reflection of it. I'm making this video right here because there's a lot in my life that I'm letting go of. A lot of attachments, fear, anxiety I've been working with in the Scorpio full moon. And with all that, I've been realizing that as I go to the breath, as I start breathing and getting into my practices, right, that all of a sudden I hit a different rate of frequency. My entire body, mind, right, nervous system harmonize together. My consciousness ascends. After about 30 minutes of that kind of breath work, right, my entire perspective of what's going on in my life changes. The bigger picture is so much easier to grasp. All of a sudden you remember why you're doing what you're doing, why I'm going through this, why I'm having to let go, right? You see it all differently. You're at a higher frequency, not one of fear, but one of maybe love, one of maybe, insight, right? And essentially all those thoughts start creating different feelings, right? And those feelings and thoughts, right, are reflected in your body, but furthermore, reiterate the momentum, the pendulum to your field. You see, everything wants to create more of itself. Wherever momentum is going, momentum is growing, okay? The more you want to smoke, the more you want to smoke. The more you eat, the more you want to eat, right? The more you sleep, the more you want to sleep. Everything is seeking to create more of itself. So when we go into the alchemist tools, okay, the mind, body, and breath, when we go into the toolbox, right, and use the toolbox in the feedback loop to start catalyzing and reiterating a new frequency to the field, right, that field starts producing more thoughts, more feelings in the body, and deeper breath patterns, right, that essentially continue the momentum of that field. It's literally taking command and sovereignty of the being, of the vehicle, right? And rising to a higher frequency, which reinstates itself over and over and over. Yes, fear might creep back in, right? But can we have the wisdom and the discretion to maybe feel that feeling fully, or choose to focus again? Okay. But essentially, my friends, your perspective, your actions, your thoughts, your fears, your worries, your feelings, right, are all a reflection. They're all coming from a perspective rooted in the vibrational field in which you exist within. Okay, this is not a new idea. You know, the vibrational thing, it's been all over YouTube in the past couple of years. But what I am saying, and what I want to talk about in this video, is this feedback loop and why it's so damn important. Let's do this thing. Okay, my friends. Real quick, let me run you through this, okay? How we hold the body, right? If we hold our body open, confident, you know, we have a little smile on our mouth, right? We hold our body in peace and alignment, the mind will slowly come to reflect it, okay? If we start thinking and choosing to think beautiful thoughts, limitless thoughts, expansive thoughts, right? Fresh thoughts, right? We will start to feel beautiful, okay? We will start to feel more encouraged, more inspired, right? But if we're thinking in old negative patterns from past versions of yourself, right? Because you're not consciously using the alchemist tools, but you're just like, you know what? Money's hard for me to make. This is hard. You know, I have trouble doing this. I'm scared of doing that. All these different things, we're thinking those thoughts, right? Well, that's going to be reflected down into the body. How does the body react to those thoughts of worry and fear? It gets tight. It contracts. When the body contracts, prana stops flowing correctly. Your nervous system goes into neurotic patterns, right? As your body contracts and you start feeling fear, creating more worry, you see fear creates more fear. Worry creates more worry, okay? Negative patterns in the body create deeper negative patterns in the body. But furthermore, when we're holding our body like that, it's going to be reflected into the mind, and we're going to start thinking more negative thoughts. We're going to start feeling more in that way, right? So how we use the body, if we use our body wildly and expressively, right, we'll start to feel more liberated, think more liberated thoughts in the mind, and it goes back around. You see how everything is reiterating itself? You see how this is the key to your dominant vibration, right? Well, breath and prana are the intermediaries between them, okay? When we start doing conscious breathing deeply into the body, what happens to the body? Well, first off, hold ourselves in alignment, in aligned posture, right? And we start consciously breathing into the body, we begin to fully inhabit the body. You see, breath is spiritus. Spirit is to breathe, right? When we breathe deeply, we breathe our consciousness to fully inhabit the body. The body comes into open alignment. What happens when the body comes into open alignment? Prana starts flowing properly, okay? When the body comes into open alignment and we're breathing consciously into the body, right, the nervous system harmonizes. In fact, we move into the parasympathetic nervous system, where all healing, activation, right, insight really comes from that place of peace, right? So as we're breathing into the body, we're opening the body, opening the pathways of prana, right, and harmonizing the nervous system. Well, the nervous system, right, is actually the vehicle of the mind. You see, the central nervous system is the brain stem, is the spinal cord. The autonomic nervous system rules all the functions of the body, like the breath and heartbeat and digestion, right? And when our nervous system starts harmonizing, the mind, the brain starts opening up. The spine comes into alignment, prana is flowing right, the nervous system's flowing right. Well, the mind uses the brain and the nervous system as the vehicle for itself. You see, the mind exists in the unseen, but this vehicle is kind of like the, how would you put this? Kind of the network that it flows through. When the network is fucked up, the mind is contracted, right? The mind all of a sudden has walls that it can't get through, right? But by harmonizing the body, right, with the breath, this brings the mind back into harmony with the being. And when your body, mind, and energy are in sync, are flowing correctly, right, are in a harmonic vibrational field, the entire vibration of your being comes into alignment, right? Alignment is creation. Alignment is power, okay? Alignment is truly what we seek, because alignment is fullness of life. It's divine insight. It's inspired action. It's higher thought, not things of consumption, what I need to do, of busyness, of fear, of attachment, but it's inspired from a higher place, because we are a transducer, my friends. A transducer both emits and receives. We receive higher consciousness ideas, things from the ether per se, when we're in a vibrational alignment with that level, right? If we're in a very low vibrational alignment, or a disharmonic, alignment in a way, lack of alignment, right? We have no control over our mind, and it's scattered. It goes everywhere. It leaks energy, right? But by harmonizing the 3 tools, using the 3 tools consciously, we can direct our vibration to certain places, maybe to feel fully and open up our hearts, maybe to divine insight, maybe to spiritual aspiration, maybe to, just simple empowerment, contentment, and peace within, right? We can create those states going to the breath, right? Using the body to harmonize the mind. And from there, we're in the space of creation, the space of alignment. In that space, divine insight will come, but furthermore, you can use the mind to direct the whole ship. Meaning that in the space of creation, your mind is actually charged with life force again, right? When your mind is charged with life force and it's clear, you have willpower. Willpower is really determined by your vital electric charge. Go check out my whole series on the Vital Knowledge series on the main page of my channel. And in there, we dive into vital magnetism. And vital magnetism, or your vital electric charge, really is that field, that vibrational field we're talking about. When that's flowing, open, and charged up, and the mind is clear, you are literally a creator, a god on earth, right? Because you can use the mind, the slate of your mind, the canvas of your mind, to start moving your vibration intelligently directing your purpose in a way. What do you want? Or, just maybe fully existing in this moment. Either way, whatever your disposition is towards. But essentially, that's the space of creation where we can plant seeds, where we can direct our field, our energy. So, yeah, my friends, this video, I essentially just wanted to expand on this topic, and I want to dive into one more application of the Mind Body Prana Feedback loop and how we can apply this into our life, not just in conscious, breathing and meditation, but how we can use this all the time for state control. Before we get into that, my friends, please hit that like button and share this message with someone you think it will impact. Man, my views, my suggested videos, all these things are going way down on YouTube for some reason, kind of being shadow banned. So I really appreciate all your support, likes, comments, and shares. Furthermore, my friends, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, if you want to get insight into this, discuss this, you can apply for a free consult, link in the description for that. Let's do this thing. So, my friends, we can no longer live as victims to our state of being. Our state of being is perpetuating itself into the world. And the world, if we're unconscious in that perpetuation, right, we will not like where we end up. Because we're going to be in reaction to the universal laws being played out through the world. Okay? These universal laws are the law of polarity and the law of rhythm. I'm going to make a follow-up video right after this on the Hermetic laws and how the alchemist uses his tools to transmute, right, the swings and pulls of life and maintain his energy and consciousness. But essentially, my friends, what we must do is claim our sovereignty, claim our self-command, and realize that you are responsible for the state of being in which you are creating, okay? That state of being is perpetuating itself. One bad action, one thing you probably shouldn't have done, leads to another one because you leaked energy, you lost your conscious control of your field, right? You smoke one, you're going to want to smoke another, or that's going to lead to another destructive action. Things literally cascade either way you're going, right? So we must take responsibility and realize, most people don't realize that instead of smoking that cigarette, they can learn to create the state that their subconscious wants, and that's why they want to smoke that cigarette. They can learn to create that state through the mind, body, and breath. By going to the breath, opening the body, and maybe having some devotional prayers with your mind, you're going to feel so different, right? Going to the gym or waking up in the morning. You know, I used to drink a lot of coffee, take pre-workouts, all that kind of jazz, right? But by literally owning myself, my presence in this moment, going into my body and literally communicating to it, open up, awaken, communicating to my cells, you know, come online here, holding my body open, breathing very deeply and powerfully into my being, right? All of a sudden, you start to feel so different. You start to think so different. Going to the gym becomes easy again, right? Furthermore, when you get into that space of creation, just by breathing and holding your body open, the mind will come into single pointedness. That's that space of creation. And from there, you can choose, you can create intention about the state you are creating. Okay, let's say you have to go give a presentation, right? What does the alchemist do? He does some breath work beforehand, fully inhabits the body, fully inhabits presence, and then repeats affirmations to himself with his mind. I am confident, you know. I am in alignment. Spirit will speak right through me. I am charismatic. I love speaking. I love speaking to people. This is easy and I'm excited. Like things like that. He starts creating a state. He starts imagining and feeling a state. He's creating an intention for the frequency he's creating, which will perpetuate itself. You are practicing how you want to play in a way, right? Same thing, you know, for creating videos for me, doing a project, doing something creative, or doing something that you want to do for yourself, something that you've been wanting to start mastering or whatever it is, right? You got to realize that mood, our vibrational state, our attitude creates action. You do not go to the gym because, you know, all the reasons your mind is telling you. The reason you didn't go to the gym yesterday is because you didn't feel like it. The reason that, you know, you're not working on your business as much as you should be is because you don't feel like it. The reason, right, that you're not showing up for your girlfriend the way you should be or want to or consciously have intended to is because you don't feel like it. You don't have control of the tools of the alchemists, right? And from using the tools, right, we can start communicating into the vibrational field, call it the subconscious mind. The vibration, the state, the self-image, the charge that you are creating into life, right? So an example of that, an example of using that kind of intention, you know, is, again, with the gym analogy, it's just so easy because it can be applied everywhere, anything that's kind of hard. Or actually creating videos, I was going to do that analogy. Before I create these videos, my friends, I realized that mood creates action and that I don't have to force myself, think all these resistant thoughts, right? Go into those lower places where it's not expanded, where it's not higher awareness, where it's not inspired. I don't need to go down there to do this kind of thing. What I have to do is go into my breath, open up my body into a confident, relaxed, almost like slightly expressive kind of energy, right? And then through that breathing, I bring my mind to one pointedness, and then I imagine myself like loving to create, entering that flow state, speaking the truth, sharing the message, you know, and I imagine how I'm doing it. Intention is about the feeling you are creating. It is about the experience you wish to have and feeling it here and now. That's what intention is. So through the breath, right, harmonizing the tools, right, coming into the space of creation, right, from there, creating on the blank canvas with the charged prana in which you were just cycling, with the breath, with the body, with that embodied presence, right, and with the paintbrush of your mind. You are creating into your reality and creating an iteration that will reiterate itself and build momentum. And then you can choose your attitude from there. Most people have no idea how to functionally flow and circulate their prana so that they can stay conscious, so that they can stay aligned, so that higher ideas can come, so they can do what they want into the world. And you know, I'm far away from mastery of this system. This system, when it's applied to the Hermetic laws and basically mastering of your reality, becomes quite complex in that kind of flow, you know. But what I can see, what I use that system for, it is so remarkable. I was going to say one other thing right there. Oh, what I was going to say is at the beginning, this may be hard to maintain, right? Yeah, you can do it when you're sitting in conscious meditation, but how about into the world, right? When you're doing actions, it's so hard. The mind gets off on a tangent, something triggers us, all of a sudden we're emotional, we're taking on other people's energy. All these different things are going on, right? How do we maintain our sovereignty? It's a constant practice, my friends, but by unconscious breathing practices, working with your tools, you can start to learn to influence your state of being. And the more you do it, the easier it gets to hold the frequency, hold the vibration, right? Without losing it, without losing the power per se, learning to hold the power. I'm about to run out of time on this video, my friends. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Stay tuned for part 2, or actually this is going to be part 3 coming up next, on state control alchemy and how do we use this system in alignment with Hermetic or universal law. Thanks for being here, my friends. Again, please hit that like button. If you guys want to talk to me, chat with me, or get involved with the Breathwork Intensive Training Program, link in the description beneath here.